Now you said this is your favorite golf swing ever.
Trevor is definitely my favorite golf swing of all time. And once again, through the Harmon relationship, I had a privilege to hang out and watch him practice, right? And I can't remember the particular date and time on this one, but I mean, Trevor's about my size, probably 30 more pounds of muscle, and just is perfect. And if you can tell the watchers and listeners, we're a little bit different on our numbers here.
Yes. So this one is maybe what some of you are more accustomed to seeing, where the pressure is actually opposite the face-on view. This is his left foot. This is his trail foot, his right foot right there, toes and heels right there. All I'll say about this, and I'll let you talk more about this beautiful swing. If we can rewind him a little bit, Chip. So it locked up a little bit. That's okay. I can talk off the image. So he has what I would call a clockwise pressure load of the trail foot. What that means is he loads a little bit into the foot, breaks with the toe, and then obviously has his rotational depth later, which goes into the heel, and then it goes straight across the crosshairs. There, we're back. So go ahead and send him back, Chip. Oh, okay. That swing was so pretty, it crashed the system. But a clockwise rotational load of the trail foot, basically the pressure goes into the midfoot or maybe the toe, rotates into the heel. This thing's going to ride the crosshairs all the way into his lead side and then into the heel. This trace is every bit as beautiful as Adam Scott's trace. It really is.
As a,
your favorite swing?
My favorite swing of all time.
Outside of looking at on
Right.
and looking at that
Right.
Gorgeous.
Right.
And again, he's one of those tour players where you just watch him hit balls, and it's like the same flight every time. It's the same height. It's the same curve. It's just the same, right?
Sounds
Always
boring.
same. It's pretty boring.
And perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
And perfect. What do you guys do with him? What do you check with this?
He's a friend of mine. He's great friends with Claude. Obviously, he's in the booth now with CBS, but
I've been around him a little bit. He seems to ever be the student. He's still got the player mindset, but he's very curious about
searching.
learning.
Yeah, still searching. I think he works his Como still.
Yeah.
And just a real student of the game, and just a real pleasure to be around.
Could we go to Matthew Wolf?
We can, but really we have a great question for Jay Perkins. Do senior tour players tend to have similar traces to PGA tour players, or do they need to make adjustments as they get older?
I've had a few senior guys on the ships, and you probably could not tell if you were comparing a tour player versus senior tour player or champions tour player. I would say, in general, you probably would see maybe some limitations in mobility, right?
I would agree with that.
But you're probably still seeing the same, relatively, maybe in between 50 and 55, I would think you're probably still seeing the same speeds they may have had between 40 and 50. In general, right?
Yeah.
You still have that same signature swing. Maybe it's a little bit smaller, maybe it's a little bit slower, but I think it's pretty much still the same signatures we're looking at.
Same guy. Yeah, I would say the only thing I could say is what I've been told and what I've measured. We spend a lot of time with Chip Beck, and he says, should I do the lame Chip Beck impression?
You should do it.
Okay. He goes, Jake, when you get older, you got to load more laterally. And that was certainly the case on the body track. Sorry, Chip. Sorry. And then I worked with Tim Petrovic, who's 54 years old and might be playing the best golf of his life at 54 years old. And I would say we did some, I don't want to call it modern because it's just back in vogue.
Is he still in Austin?
Yes, he is. Yeah. So next time you're there, we'll definitely have to go out to Spanish Oaks and throw balls at Sergio.
Is he playing both tours?
He does, but probably played the best golf of his life. And I would tell you, I don't want to call this modern because it's back in vogue again. I think we just know more. He definitely was guilty in the 90s of being told to squat his trail side and turn against his lower body. And at 54, he is swinging a little bit freer and a little bit faster. because on a V1 pressure mat, we noticed that he didn't get enough pressure into the heel and the backswing. So we just kind of freed that up. And actually, I started allowing his heel. I told him it's okay. I think Jack Nicklaus says it's okay to let your left heel come up off the ground, change some knee flex, tilt his pelvis a little bit more. He went from 27 degrees of pelvic rotation up into well, we're hoping to get into the 40s, but
I think I'm going to retract a statement I made earlier.
yeah,
Like it might be smaller or shorter or slower.
yeah,
I think Mickelson is the exception to the rule.
absolutely.
Right. So I don't know his particular sequence right now, or his particular trace, but I know he's good friends with Dave Phillips, who's one of my idols for teaching. And I'm pretty sure that they have unlocked his body for maximum potential. And that signature probably looks better today than maybe it did maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, we just know more. Unfortunately, I always joke in these things that if we were doctors, we would have killed a lot of people. Right? We just know more, and again, this is not only the V1 pressure mat for performance, but it's also for health, to kind of make golf a game for life again.